All right, I'm going to welcome everyone in. We are getting ready for HAMshortkiller to be talking here on the Twitter space. So that's what we're going to get ready for here. All right, welcome in everybody. All right, let's go ahead and hop here into the live.
But yeah, what you're saying was one opinion, and then there's 60 other opinions, and anyone's guess is as good as anyone else's. If that answers your question, I'm not sure, but
it does. I just felt like the person talking last night that wasn't necessarily their opinion, that came directly from the rep at TD Ameritrade.
No, I didn't hear that. I was in the space. I was in the space all night last night.
Okay.
And a lot of the theory, like the theory that they're going to do this broker to broker and stuff like that, I espouse that theory. That's Dave and I actually were going back and forth, and that's what we both kind of came up with. Again, it's all speculation, my dear.
Sure, I agree.
I just hope that it works out for the best for everybody in here, and everybody who did all the right things and made all the right moves. They should prevail. That's my hope.
I agree, 100%. Thanks.
Hello, sorry, just a quick update. I'm still trying to get Ham back in the chat, so bear with me. I'm still trying. Thank you, guys.
You're the man, Gary.
I'm in the inbox with him right now, and I just specifically said leave the space, click this link above, and they should be able to get in here with a mic.
Anyone calls me Gary again will get kicked from the space. Thank you.
Great.
Sure thing, Gray.
Be very careful. It's your final warning.
I was trying to figure out how I could type it, and I was like, GAR. I think that kind of lets him know, but yeah. All good, buddy-o.
All right, Michael, and then Joe, we'll get to you.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody.
All right, looks like they're just trying to get Ham in here.
We hear you, Mike.
All right, cool. So I just wanted to mention one thing that you might want to take into consideration, especially for Winston, when doing the estimates for how many people or how many shares there could be outstanding. One of the things to think about is that the people who are on Twitter may be the larger holders. There might be people that have hundreds of shares, but they might actually be, just kind of floating out there without any kind of direction. Just a factor to factor into that estimate. But that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, perfect. I do have, like I said, I mean, Winston went through the two polls that I had posted at the top, and even on the low end, it's looking kind of ridiculous just based off the averages and how many people had voted. Joe, I want to get you through, and then I got to start bringing some other speakers up, including Smokey. And Ham sent me a DM saying, "Have Bill putting me in on his cell." I don't know what that means.
I want to let you know that I'm taking notes for myself, and I can try to throw timestamps on them for helping with whatever is happening with editing and stuff later. I also wanted to say that as I'm looking at the Twitter space, there's an actual button that says leave. And I don't know that telling Ham to leave means that he would know it's not just closing the window. So that might be part of the problem. And it might be a good idea in general to have I'm going to say a handler assigned. So if the space gets dropped, we can go and find him and get him into the next space.
For sure.
Mike. So, yay, this is very exciting.
Very, very exciting. So, Gray, are you talking with him in your DM?
Yes, I am. He's asked me to. He's going to speak over somebody else's app, so I have to invite somebody else. So I'm just going to try and find out who that user is.
Okay, perfect. I'm not sure.
William, somebody called William on the call.
I need a handle. If you can send me a handle, I can add them.
He sent me a screenshot.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no worries.
Number 2.
Yeah, he's in there. He's in there. I got it.
Okay, yeah, 1 second. Number 2, I left a thread at the top for you to do your timestamp magic. Appreciate it.
William is in here. His handle is William P. F is in Frank. A is in Apple. R. A is in Apple.
Oh, Ferrand. He's on Will's. Okay, yep.
There you go.
Perfect. There we go.
Hey.
All right, William, I sent you an invite.
I didn't mean to request a mic, so if you guys need to drop me. I just accidentally hit the button picking up my phone.
Oh, that's okay. You're welcome to be up here if you'd like.
Doesn't matter.
Do you want to Okay, well, Smokey, can you do me the honors of introducing John to the space and welcoming him?
Absolutely. Everybody, we do have John Berta, the former CEO of Torchlight Energy, and basically the chief captain of our movement, who's basically pushing us through the entire FINRA fraud and figuring out the discovery of all of this information. So he is in the chat right now.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing on this wonderful Saturday?
Great.
Good afternoon, John. Welcome. Thank you for joining us again. Can we get William Frand a mic? Thank you.
Yeah, I sent it to him.
Busy glitched out, so he's working that out to come back in. I found a way to get around these glitches, so I'm just kind of walking him through it to get him back in. John Berta, welcome.
Hey,
nice to talk to you again, bud.
Yeah, good to be here again. It's always fun. It seems like there's a lot of these.
A lot of these, 24/7.
I know, it's unbelievable. I was on a Zoom call this morning at 6 o'clock my time, Central, with 2 guys that were just coming off of a space call that, they'd been on all night. I'm like, holy crap, that's insane. But hey, there's I can't believe how avid this group is, which is fantastic. So.
You use the word avid. I use the word rabid. We're pissed off.
That's true. That is true.
William Ferrand, if you're listening, please check your inbox. I sent you an invite. You may have to leave the space and then rejoin with that link. It should give you the option to return as a speaker.
He had a request, and I just added him as a speaker.
Okay, perfect.
He shows connecting now.
Awesome.
He shows as a listener on my screen. Oh, well, glitches.
Yeah, my screen shows connecting still, so we'll see.
I know how to get around these things. If I was a co-host, I can do it, but I don't think Busy can even do it.
Okay. John Berta, whilst you're here and you have a mic, and I was hoping to ask you a question yesterday, but unfortunately, I think we ran out of time yesterday. Would it be right to ask you that question now? It's quite a simple one.
Sure.
Greg McCabe's shares that were paid to him in recompense for merging with, what's the name of the company?
NEXTBRIDGE.
NEXTBRIDGE and
Hudspeth Oil Corp.
Hudspeth, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
Those shares, would they be immediately sent through to AST and be held there, or would those shares, because they are NextBridge shares, would they be held in another brokerage account, or would they be held at NextBridge?
They would be held at AST when they're issued, and that would increase. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sorry. Yes, I meant they're held at AST. Sorry, forgive me.
Yeah,
Yes.
they would be held at AST in basically on account for Greg McCabe, and when those are issued, the total outstanding will go from 165 to whatever the number is. So it does not affect the 165 that are there.
No, I understand that. Thank you very much for clearing that up. It's a good thing to know. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Marduk, who do you want me to cycle out to bring up these speakers?
I've got a lot of open spots on my end. I just
okay.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know why it's not working. I've got lots of open spots.
I know what to do. Hold on. Adjust settings. Everyone.
Thank you for your patience, Ham. I do understand that we all have to go through this every day. We try to set up a space.
I've got it figured out. It's okay. Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you.
If you're in here and you've requested a microphone, please leave the space and come back. But we need to make sure we have enough spots open. So if you're here and you've requested a microphone, please leave the space and come back.
I think we have Jimmy here.
Okay, this looks like it's working now, right?
Hey, can you?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to cycle out enough mics to get who we want up here. So if you don't need to be up here, please drop your mic and you'll be able to request a mic later. It's basically going to be a tag system. When someone drops a mic, the next person in line will automatically get one.
Oh, okay. I wish.
Listen,
God dang
I
it.
just got here. Sorry, dude. I just got here. I'm just trying to help. I'm
Hey, we figured it out.
Yeah,
Andrew, I appreciate it, man. What a weird system.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Hey, was Jimmy the person that we were looking for?
Yes, I am here. I just have one question to John. This is regarding an NFT dividend based on a blockchain. If NextBridge can issue to the shareholders, if they use that consideration.
Let's just say there are a lot of things that are being talked about internally over at NextBridge right now, and I'm just hearing bits and pieces of them because I'm good friends with a couple of folks still over there, and there are a lot of things being worked on in the background. So I'm not at liberty. I don't want to get in front of anything they're planning, so I don't want to say anything in these spaces calls. Because it's up to them to disseminate their own information. So let's just say that there's a lot of things being talked about and a lot of things being worked on.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Awesome. Andrew, you're the best, man.
That's all good. Yeah. So
Holy cow, Twitter, man.
I found a way to get around the Twitter, the clitter. I found a way to get around the Twitter glitches if you're a host also.
Okay.
So
all right, we got William now. We definitely got William.
So hold on. So
thank you.
If they were in the request queue, they had to be removed from the space entirely. So I did. So they just have to come back in. I also, I took them out from the removed queue, and that should be fine. Do we have open mics? No, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so hold on. We have, how many mic requests are you showing?
2.
Okay, so we don't have any more open mics. People have to start cycling out. Speakers have to start cycling out. If you don't need to be up here, you've got to start cycling out so we can make room for those people that are waiting.
Sorry, John. We got to drop you, John Berta.
All right, drop
I'm just kidding.
That's not even. Don't even fuck with me like that.
I'm only
Hey,
I'm only seeing two speakers on our side. There's for the hosts we have Busy, me, and you, Andrew, and then I'm just showing John and House as having microphones.
Marduk, force quit the app. Do not leave the space. Force quit the app and come back. Hello, my princess. Say hi.
Okay.
Hi,
Force
princess.
Force quit the app and come back, and you'll be able to rejoin as a co-host. But do
I don't know
not
how
leave.
to.
What
I
do you
don't know
have?
how to force quit the app.
You know how like on your phone you can like on an iPhone you can slowly flick up from the bottom of the screen and it'll show you all the apps that you have open and you can close them.
iPhone.
Yeah. Oh God!
While you do that, hey William, can you hear us, William?
William is connecting as a speaker right now. He should be fine in a second. He should be fine in a second.
Hey, Busy, can you drop me as a co-host and then I'll just come back?
Got it.
Thanks.
Hey, I suppose while we're just waiting here on Mr. John, my old man, he's a merchant marine on a ship. He's somewhere out in the South Pacific, and it's my job to relay all this to him. Like, he can't do anything because he's literally on the ship, so I have to hold down the fort for him. But he just wanted to say hello to the Twitter space, and he just wanted to say hello to you, and he thanks you for all the work that you're doing in the background.
Well,
just relaying a message.
When you talk to him, tell him we thank him for his service and we appreciate it.
Amen.
Thanks, Sean. I appreciate you.
Sure. You too.
All right. Some of these speakers have to cycle out. Some of these speakers are going to have to cycle out.
I'm only showing myself and I only see myself and Mr. Berta as a speaker. I did have one specific question about something that was talked about 10, 15 minutes ago that I thought was kind of odd. Just want to get some clarification on it.
Okay.
All right. I do not know who it was. There was this lady that was talking up here in the chat, but she was talking about when we were backtracking stocks. There was something significant about October 6th, 7th, and 8th that for whatever reason they would not backdate anybody that has original torch shares. They would not backdate them any further than the 6th, 7th, or 8th. And I was really curious as to why, if anybody had an idea about that. That was my only question. I'll drop down.
I don't understand what they mean by backdating.
And I wasn't sure, certain either. I wanted to go back and listen because I thought that was really, really peculiar. And I just didn't know if there was something significant about early October.
No, there was nothing significant other than that's when Canaccord Genuity and GST got together and started trading it. In hindsight, you probably saw the OCC letter that came out on June 21st of that year that they weren't going to force settle any of the trades that were created from the option string. They were going to allow those settlements to stay open. Yeah. Sure.
Wait, John, were you listening earlier? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Hold on. I'm
Yes,
getting requests. I'm sorry. I'm getting requests that we've got to cycle out these. We've got to cycle out. Okay, so who I have active as a speaker right now is I have John, I have Busy, I have myself, I have Marduk, I have Russ, I have.
Well, I can't hear you, so I don't know if you can hear me, but basically what she stated was.
John, you're going to have to drop out and come back in. I think most people can't hear you.
All right. So I don't see any requests from William, and I don't see any requests from Ham. And somebody keeps going into the settings and changing what I've done. You Busy, if you can hear me, you've got to leave the settings alone.
No, I haven't touched anything, buddy.
All right. Well, Marduk, if it's you, like you cannot go. Like, please leave the settings as they are, so I can kind of unscrew the situation here. Cannot be blank. I'm sorry, you're being removed. Steve C., I'm sorry, you're being removed. I need to cycle people out. Please do not request a mic until we get our panel formed. I'm kind of directing traffic, and it is not good.
Red light.
Sorry,
Green light.
sorry, Andrew. Can I say something? I was with you this morning when you had this new system. So actually,
Yeah,
new joinee, they have to request.
No, they don't. No, they don't. So they yes, they have to hit the request button, but I don't have to grant them.
Yeah, they will get automatically added because I can see lots of
Yes,
people.
and they'll get exactly. That's what I'm trying to do, but there's too many requests, so I've got to cycle through.
Yes,
so
yes.
I'm
Okay,
sorry, but
I'll be off. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, please. Okay, now, William, you should be able to grab a mic when someone drops down. The way I have it set up, the mic should automatically go to William. I'm sorry. I'm just going to kind of cycle through.
You still have too many.
Yeah, I know. Now, William should get a mic in a second. Adjust settings, everyone. All right. William says he's connecting on my side.
Yeah, he's gonna have to shut down his app and re-add. That's the problem that we're having here. Because I see him as speaker and he's connecting on your side. I'm telling you, these Twitter glitches are so damn annoying.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
Hey, can we not just restart a space?
Funny how everything was working fine, and all of a sudden we're gonna have Ham and all of these Twitter glitches. So convenient.
Can we not just restart a space?
The other option is we can fit 1,000 people in teams, and there's 946 people right now.
Andrew, I'm keep seeing the message on my screen popping.
What are you seeing? Okay, I think I've got it now. All right, I think I've got it now. So, add as a speaker. Wow, this is okay. Kyber, can you speak?
Yes, Andrew, I can hear you, and I'm seeing messages coming up saying the host is having connectivity issue. Reconnecting now.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, William, you should be able to. I should be able to get you in now. I think I've got it. I think. I don't know. These glitches are getting more and more tricky every day. They're like freaking market algos. Okay, so Marduk, you're good, right?
Yeah, so I was glitched. I couldn't speak. I couldn't leave the space. And no, I didn't change any settings. I think they're messing with the space. I'm not 100% sure.
What?
Yeah, so they won't let me. They won't let me add William as a speaker. They won't let me add him as a speaker, and I'm assuming that that Ham is with him.
Yes, he is with him. Can you hear me? This is Tathagata.
Yes. Yeah, we hear you.
He is with William, and William is trying to connect. I've given my number to Ham. If that doesn't work, since you can hear me, I can patch him through.
Hold on. I think I can get William on, but for some reason it's not. For some reason, William has to force quit his app, and I don't know if I can explain to him how to do that. But William has to force quit his app to reset his settings. So, William, if you can hear me, very slowly drag your finger up from the bottom of your phone and stop like an inch up. And then what you'll see is like a listing of all the apps that you have open, and you have to flick up on the Twitter app. I'm totally not a fucking tech support guy. But you would have to force quit the app. Unless you guys want to just start this space over and we can try and avoid all of this mucha catalapaya para nada.
If we're going to start the space over, why don't we just jump over to Teams? And then the people who can't connect, they can directly dial in with a phone number.
No, I don't want to. Not everybody in here has Teams. No.
That's why I said they could just dial in with a phone number.
No, it's... you see all the thumbs down?
All right. I'm just saying.
I love you, buddy. I love you.
I'm just saying, we're a half an hour already, and how much time do these people have?
No, I get it. I understand. Busy. Close the space. Close the space and start a new one because
we'll do that.
It's not letting me do it.
Well, Marduk could open up a space, but this is just ridiculous how Twitter is just glitching us out. How convenient.
I would open a space myself, but I'm about to be driving through a mountain, and if I lose service, the space is going to go. So,
looks like Marduk dropped already. So
close it. Yeah, I think Marduk is starting.
Let him do it. We're not going to stop.
Okay, guys. Well, that was a big clusterfuck, if I do say. We're gonna go over and find Marduk. I believe Marduk is going to be starting a space. "12 seconds. Here we go. Let's quote retweet. NEXTBRIDGE. All right, John Berta and HAMshortkiller. I think sometime too with this stuff, guys, is that these spaces run so long, and I don't know if that has any issue to do with it, but I don't know. Hopefully this will work.
Yep.
Isn't that funny, Marduk? All of a sudden, we start having glitches after we get Ham. It's no coincidence.
Yep.
No coincidence.
All right, guys. At the top of the space, let's just try this again. I got a thread for questions for Ham. I got number 2 pencil is going to be your notary, secretary, whatever. He's going to take timestamps. All right. I sent you a microphone, John. I've sent out an invite to William. I'm not sure if William's in the space. If he is and listening, I sent you out an invite for a microphone.
All right.
Sorry about this, John. What
I'm
are you
here.
up? What are you doing? Yeah. Okay. How are you for time?
I was gonna have an hour at 12:30, so I've got probably 35 minutes.
Okay, we can get this fired through. No problem. I just need to get William up here.
And get with Ham too. See what his schedule is. So.
Yep. It's kind of annoying that. Oh, there we go. I see William now. William, I sent you an invite to speak.
And Mardik, if you want to co-host me, you can.
Yes. I always find that it glitches for me when I accept a co-host before a microphone.
Mardik, William's in the
so
room. William's in the room.
I have sent him an invite already.
He's in, but he's down as a listener.
Yep, I sent him a microphone. You should be able to get it.
Way to go, Spaces.
Unbelievable. All right, well, I don't know. I can't force him into a speaker role. If I had the power to snap my fingers and do it, I would.
Yeah. Well, do you want to try and co-host me again?
Okay. It's telling me that I can't. It says you're allowed up to 2 co-hosts. To add this person, remove 1 co-host.
You must have an open
Do you guys
invitation.
see?
You have to end the invitation.
Hold on. Yeah, you have to end the invitation. Hi, Alex.
Hey, man. Good to see you.
William, sorry to interrupt. William has hit the speak button, the microphone button, but it's not come up. He's still listed as a listener.
Sometimes you have to leave. You have to shut Twitter if they for an invite.
Ah, okay, right. Sorry, William's on a computer, not on a phone app.
Can't talk.
Right, let me. William, if you can hear this and you're on a computer, you need to be on a phone app.
Oh, that's probably it.
That's kind of a stupid thing, to be honest with you.
I agree, but hey, let's try and get him up.
It is kind of strange that there isn't a web app for this right now.
Right.
Like there isn't even a compatible web app, like Club Deck or whatever for Clubhouse. There's no compatible web app. It's very strange.
Put that on the list, Elon.
I tweeted
Seriously,
it.
we've already been harping about it. I've been like, please, for efficiency purposes, and we all know Elon is all about efficiency. Please make it hostable on desktop so I can utilize all my screens. It's just so much more difficult and glitchy on the phone, especially when you have to type things in.
There's also a lot.
I've got an invite out to William.
There's something about there's a max number before it starts getting glitchy. And I feel like that's around 400 and then it starts getting glitchy. But I keep tweeting every day, Elon, bring back that guy who kept Spaces stable. We need that guy back. Just that one guy.
Yeah, and I've noticed too when you record Spaces, it tends to glitch a little bit even more. So that's why I just didn't even bother. I just want to have the conversation and have people have their questions answered.
You've got to remove my invite as co-host.
Yeah, and guess what?
It
won't let me. Is there a way that you can leave?
Yeah, I can leave.
Yeah, but
it's not going to cancel
the invite's still going to be open. You have to actually cancel it for him specifically in order to, or cancel it for anybody, but to invite people up, invite speakers, the easiest way to do it is actually do a direct invite to them as a speaker and DM it. It sucks, but that's and you have to.
I think the DM thing is what's causing the glitches.
Yeah, you have to not be in the space in order to accept it. If you're in the space, then you won't be able to move up. You have to be out of the space, go into your DM, accept the invite, and then you can come up and speak. It sucks.
I think we should let. I think we should. I don't know. Maybe we should let Russ open the space. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss for words.
All right, guys, I'm just going to pause this. I don't really know what the deal is with Twitter. But it seems like these last 2 days now we've lost a lot of valuable time, John Berta's valuable time. We lost a lot of time of getting his time on here, and it's being wasted because of Twitter having mess ups. Now, I prefer myself to do like one-on-one interviews. I use Microsoft Teams. I don't do a big host thing like this, but I will do a live stream over Microsoft Teams to my YouTube. I've done that with live streams of Roller Pigeon, Tony Market Moves, Right Brain Trader. You know, I've done that plenty of times. Never had any issues doing my live streams with one-on-ones like that. So hopefully, if we don't get anything here from John Berta, I don't know. I shot him a message asking him about coming on the channel. I don't know really if he is able to, you know, because I have some pretty straightforward questions, and he probably is going to be not allowed to answer those. But yeah, it's the questions I think people want to know. And I don't know what's these Twitter spaces are just failing. And you know, this started at 1:30. We're 35 minutes in. We lost that. And Twitter kind of sucks right now. Anytime you get like important people on here, Twitter wants to go down. They can run these spaces all day. And it's not the people running these spaces, guys. Those people are great. They're on here, you know, run the spaces and everything great like that. But as soon as this knows, it's like the shorts or whoever the heck's doing it, we get John Berta, you get Dave on here, Rich Effer, you get HAMshortkiller. The spaces want to crash all of a sudden. It's a load of crap. So that's why I would like to have an opportunity to get these valuable people on my channel with one-on-one, and we should be guaranteed no issues because I haven't had no issues in the past doing Microsoft Teams one-on-one interview style. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully John Berta can get some questions, get some answers out here. But yeah, I'm just kind of like, Twitter is very annoying. Twitter's good for like posting DD, but these space calls here, it seems, they're just so glitchy and they're not even helpful right now.
Gotta just if you're requesting a mic, David and Rubicon, please just hold off for a minute. Hold on. I think okay. Remove. Hold on. Okay, now, William, if you would request a mic, please. I think I can fix it now. I think I can get you in now. Okay, hold on. Yeah, Spaces is having a major problem. Oh, I thought I saw William's hand go up.
Did you lose Alex?
No, I think Alex stepped down. Edward, can you speak?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I successfully added Edward. So what we've got to do is, William, please leave the space, come back, and request a mic. Please leave the space, come back, and request a mic. There you go. Okay. No, I think you left. Hold on. No, he's got William in the top right corner of the space. There's a button that says leave. Please click that button. Yes. And now when he comes back, I should be able to give him a mic, I think. Now, William, please request. Now, hold on.
Buddy, you're going to have to do a video demonstration on this afterwards.
I'm trying, but he left again. He left again. He's got to come back into the space and request a mic.
Hey, Mardo, can we initiate the discussion with Mr. Berta? His time is limited while Andrew is working in the background to bring the rest of the guests.
Absolutely.
Smokey, you can request a mic if you'd like. Yeah, I'm trying to like get this thing set up and it's not working. Okay, William, I see you.
If anybody has questions for Mr. Berta, please fire away.
Hey, John, what do you think about these spaces?
I think the technical issues suck, but that's no reflection on any of you. But I think the fact that we have so many people that participate is just amazing.
William is back in, but he's still listed as a listener.
Yeah, I see that. For some reason, William himself is having an issue. William's app himself. I wish he knew how to leave and then force quit Twitter to reset all of his settings and then start over again. William is having an issue. He's got to force quit he's got to leave the space, force quit his Twitter app, and then come back in. So hold on, he's sending another request, and I'm trying to add him.
Mr. John Berta, thank you for giving us your valuable time. Do you have any updates from yesterday? I know it's a very wide question to ask, but is there any updates that have developed while you were not attending?
No, nothing has developed really on any front. Obviously, you're all aware that AST has been sending out the account statements for each particular broker-dealer. There's 105 of them that they sent it out to. That's how many firms that are actually getting shares. And of the 163 million that they sent out, there was 105 firms, ranging from 1,000 shares all the way up to 53 million shares.
Thank you. Indeed, that was my follow-up question to ask in the United States or in Canada. If we just generalize it, would you be able to put a number on saying how many brokers were handling the MMTLP shares?
Just in Canada?
In the United States and Canada. I'm just generalizing to pick a sample.
It's 100. Yeah, it's 105. That's the number.
Thank you, sir. And by any chance, do you have a data available to suggest which one of them were allowing trading and which were not?
No, I don't have that. That's not information that this particular report was able to give me.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, this is just clearing, and so which means that on DTCC's books, these particular broker dealers were due these shares. All it is a number that's reported to DTCC of the 163 million they have. This is how it's broken out. It's no reflection on whether or not the actual broker dealer has an imbalance.
Thank you indeed, sir. As the rest of the crew is attempting to bring the guests in, I'm just going to blubber some words, and thank you indeed for the behalf of all of the team.
No worries.
And as you can see, the testament of the stability of our cause standing in here is all these people that are attempting to endure all these technical issues. So we respect your patience with us. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Edward, do you have any technical questions? Always looking forward from hearing from you.
Hey, Kyber. Good morning, everyone, and happy New Year to everybody here. I'll be asking a couple of questions. I'm curious to see what Ham and William have to say when they jump in. Thanks.
I'm just concerned about Mr. Berta's time. Of course, it's pretty limited. Wanted to utilize most of his presence.
He did say he only had until 2:30. So I did leave a thread at the top. If anybody has questions for John, please leave a comment there, and perhaps we can start getting some answers out to you. While we're waiting on that to fill up a little bit, John, I did have a question possibly for you. I understand that, obviously many of us understand that there's going to be no more public reporting by NextBridge. What would this mean for the situation we're in? Would it complicate things on our end, or are we still going to get information from the company through our emails?
You know, I'm not sure that they're not going to continue to publicly report. I know it was in the S1 that they're not obliged to after their K is filed, but you know, I believe that they have an inkling that they want to stay in touch with each and every shareholder, whether that's through a public press release or communicating with them directly via email. They're not going to run away and hide. In fact, one of the reasons why they put that form up there is so they can communicate with as many of the shareholders as possible. And I know on the first day there were 17,000 people that registered.
Right. So as holders of shares in a private company, we don't get any updates. Is that correct?
No, you will be getting updates. I believe that they're going to operate as if they're a public company in case they ever do want to go public again. It makes sense to do that.
Right.
And you know they have 64,000 shareholders, so it's I know from the auditors and everything else and the people that they've talked to that they're going to operate this as if they're public.
William, if you see your DMs, if you go to your DMs, I text you my number. I DM'd you my number. Give me a call, and I'll walk you through how to do this over the phone.
Nikki did ask, can you allow the speaker who offered? I think it was Tatha Gatha or whatever. It's a possibility. I don't know if it'll be of hold any merit, but might be worth a shot. Right on. Yeah, I figured that they would still like send out physical materials like that I would get in the mail, John. So like we'd get our updates. I was just wondering if it would complicate anything on the end of, say, the short seller.
No, not at all.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. All right, we got a question here from Robbie. I assume the sale of the Oro Grande assets will be delayed until the shareholder issue is ironed out.
Well, the answer to that question is even if they were to sell it tomorrow, it would be probably held in escrow until that was figured out. So I don't think that they would delay a potential sale if one existed. I'm not at liberty to discuss any of that. But even if there were a sale tomorrow, they would hold it in escrow for everybody to get their shares ironed out.
Perfect. Thanks so much, John, and thank you for the question, Robbie. I got the next one here from Bangarang. He asks, people with brokerages like Robinhood or Webull are under the assumption they're safe in AST because they didn't allow buying. But isn't it true that uncovered torch shorts equals excess MMTLP counterfeits to exist even in those brokerages?
So the answer to that question, and I'll be real specific here. Robinhood has 12,804,287 shares. If you're one of those 12,804,287 shares, you're fine. If they have over 12.8 million shares on their long book, that means that they've sold or purchased, you've allowed you to purchase synthetics. So that's the only way that you could be really exposed, is if that number doesn't balance on their books. Now, if you wanted to avoid it, that, you can always ACAT your shares back to AST and be registered direct, and they would send you an account statement directly from AST.
Right. Yeah, because I think we were talking about that last night, actually. The fact that, okay, so they didn't allow buying or they allowed selling, but people with margin, they could still lend their shares out, which could cause a discrepancy in their share count.
Yep.
So you always got to keep that in mind. Got another question here. What would have happened to the trapped shorts from the Torch MMAT merger if they never created the MMTLP ticker? How would they have closed out their positions?
That's a great question. That's the it could be the $1 billion question, right? Not million, but $1 billion question.
Yeah, I definitely have thought about that.
Because it not only did they hold their short shares, but the options trading was allowed not to settle as well. And even in the option memo that was sent out, it said we're going to delay settlement on the Series A preferred until we can figure out if we can trade it. And that's some serious shit there. I didn't know they could do that, but evidently they can. So all those people that created synthetics on the puts and calls from June, I don't know, was it June 1st or 2nd when they started trading options? None of them had to cover. And so, of course, we didn't find out about that till a year later. But you would think that OCC information would be available to the general public, and it's the first time I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I was trying to document as much stuff as I could before things really started kicking off, and they seem to have scrubbed quite a bit of stuff from websites, but hopefully we have enough out there that we can actually get to the bottom of all of this. P-Funk, thanks for that question, because that is a very valid and like John said, that could be the $1 billion question right there. We got Steve Zach asks, does John think TDA issued more than 53 million shares, and can he speak how they will settle?
So DTC only issued them 53 million shares. Now, whether or not they have more than 53 million shares on their books, we won't know. That's part of the share intel aspect, that they'll be able to uncover some of that. They won't be able to uncover all of it, because they'll only be able to trace back into DTC's system. They will not be able to trace back into broker-to-broker clearing. You know, TD Ameritrade was one of those houses that were actually lending out shares. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was an imbalance there. But 53 million shares is a lot of people that were trading it there. You know, for them to have 53 million shares long, that's a lot of people. That's almost a third of the float.
Absolutely, yeah. Just really trying to just pick the questions that haven't been asked yet are good questions. Perry's asking, does this situation not hold up and affect NextBridge going forward?
The answer to that is no. Do they want to get it figured out and settled? 100%, but it does not hold up what they're doing. You know, part of the situation with McCabe and a $20 million facility he made available to them is that they need to be moving on with their business, right? They were kind of hamstrung underneath metamaterials, so he made that facility available to them so they could get started. Now, that doesn't mean they don't want this settled. They do. And they want everybody to be benefit from it. And so, however it's going to settle out, nobody really knows yet, but they needed to get started with their business. And so that has already begun.
Perfect, thanks. I got kind of a two-parter here between Winston and Perry. Winston's asking, do you know how many shares were issued to Fidelity bracket all of the brokers individually? And then to Perry adds in, do you also have the numbers allocated to other brokers on the Canadian side, including Questrade, et cetera?
So Fidelity is 21 million. And I didn't see Questrade on the list. I'm reading this list that was given to me confidentially, so I'm not going to go through all 105 of them. But
at least not all at once.
Yeah, right. There's going to be 105 questions, right? Yeah. Let's see. I don't know if Questrade is on here specifically or if they clear through somebody. No, I don't see Questrade on here. You know, CIBC out of Canada is 370,000. That's really the biggest one of the biggest ones out of Canada. BMO,
Anything
481.
TD?
Sorry?
481 for BMO, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so not that many.
Here's an interesting one that I thought was really odd, is that Canaccord Genuity is only 19,000. And here's another one, is that Citadel is only 2,900.
What?
Yeah. Oh, here's Questrade, 906,000.
906,000. Perfect. You hear that, Perry?
Yeah, thanks.
That was the share.
Yeah, thanks. And the reason I asked about that is because I know Questrade was one lending them out too. So that's why it was interesting to know. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Kind of an interesting question I have here for you, John. How will they communicate with us if they don't even know how many shares are out there?
That's a great question. I think they were hoping for as many people to register on their website as they can, so that they can really, all that was intended to do is get as many emails and names as possible and potentially show that there's more than 165 million shares out there. Now, some people won't be honest on that. I get it. Some people are just built that way, right? But if people are somewhat honest, and all we're really looking for is a discrepancy. And so, I would think in this situation, the people that have a vested interest in making this thing work would give us accurate numbers.
For sure. Is there a way that the public can access the list of number of allotted shares to brokerages, or is that?
No, it's an AST form that was given to NextBridge, and I'm not supposed to be sharing it. So if they want to share it, if they want to share it, they can share it.
Gotcha. Thank you. Alan's asking, John, thoughts on how many brokers he thinks intentionally didn't transfer shares when requested to wait to see if there was going to be a halt before the 7th?
I don't know, because that's a function of the shareholder requesting that transfer. And so, a broker dealer is going to sit on the stock unless a specific stockholder asks them to transfer it back to AST. So if they were telling you at that time they're not going to transfer them back, then that would be my first question. Why wouldn't they?
Exactly. Do you know of any federal congressional folks getting involved?
Just from what I've seen on Twitter, seeing different screenshots and letters and what have you. Certainly I tried to reach out to my representatives, and I got the canned letter that everybody else got too, right? So, but I have heard that people are reviewing it and potentially getting somewhere, but I don't have any firsthand knowledge of it.
All right, I got the gentleman's asking next week. Where'd it go? Jesus Christ, where'd it go? One second.
Marduk, Uncle Smokey is having a question.
I have a solution.
Sure,
I have a solution. I'll have them on in 2 seconds. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Everybody say thank you to my wife. Hold on.
Thank you, Andrew's wife. Jeez.
All right, I'll have them on in a sec.
Thank you, Andrew.
Kill me now. Oh, come on, William. William, I'm trying to call you. It's going right to voicemail.
Hey, John, this is perseverance. We won't give up.
I don't know what I mean.
This is. I'm glad you guys are doing this. I wouldn't have the patience.
Can I ask a question real quick while we're still late?
Please do.
If there is a chance of this going to the settlement process rather than the gray markets, there's been a lot of questions about that, how that would work out, what would happen if there are far more shares like we've been talking about than what NextBridge has, things like that. And it seems like there's a lot of people who still haven't been able to hear this basically firsthand. Is there a way you can kind of lay that out at all? What would happen like in that process? And I may have one more question for you after.
So what
Sure, I
would
got.
happen? What would happen in the process of having to issue more shares?
All right, guys.
Of the entire
I'm sorry to
settlement
cut
process.
the space. Hold on. Bill, Ham, are you there?
We're here.
No.
Okay. Can you guys hear them okay?
Yep.
I hear John now. I don't hear us.
Hey, I'm here. Hey, Ham, what's going on?
All right. Ham, can you please mute your microphone, your computer?
Can you guys hear? Yeah, hold on. Turn it off. Yep, it's done. Talk.
Okay. All right. So Spaces, can you hear them clearly?
Have
John,
them
can
talk.
you hear them clearly?
I did a second ago, yeah.
Okay. So William and Ham, you're on. Let's fucking rock and roll.
All right, John, I'm listening to all the crazy stuff here. Right? The Wall Street is creating a fire drill for everybody here. I know there's thousands of you. All right, John, just to stop the madness, because everyone's reaching out with misinformation, it's giving me a headache. So you guys are all trying so hard to figure this out. Someone needs to speak with John, post what John has to say on a daily basis, and have one plan. Wall Street, each time you call up your brokerage firm, the young kids working there, they're going to give you a different answer every time. Until you give up, they're going to keep giving you a headache. So everyone needs to have the same story. If you're going to you're all in this boat, get the same knowledge. Don't let them drag you anywhere. The information's got to come from John and his people. They're the biggest holders. Let them dictate to you and educate you, the investor, about what the next steps are. Because I'm getting a headache. I can't even answer. You're losing me. So, John, what they're trying to do is, if you can get someone to be your point person, find a place where you guys can post the information and update it as we move down this road. All right? Because I'm getting lost. Too hard. The people who work at the brokerage firms are young kids. They don't even know what a physical cert looks like. All right? So everyone's going to get different answers from this 130 firms here. You're going to get different answers from everyone. John, that's just one thing I think you guys have to do. John, let's think about reversing what we're talking about here. We believe that there's all kinds of extra shares. So The company has the DTC positions of, was it 53 million shares, correct?
No, it's 163 million were issued to DTC.
Okay, so it's 163 million.
Yep.
What is the firm with the smallest amount? Do you have a breakdown of each firm? Like you just said, Canaccord had this much, or someone had.
Yeah, I have 105 firms.
That
I mean, some are like 800 shares, right?
So if you could just put up anyone, you put the information up on Twitter, Canaccord, anyone that's doing business through Canaccord or clears through whatever it may be, you want them to contact whatever and send in their statements showing their ownership. Reverse it. And if you look at it, GTI did the same thing. I put the photo of the depository trust up there for a reason. The DTC has 163 million. The problem is we don't know what the brokerage firms own. That's the problem. So, for example, let's say Merrill Lynch has 1 million shares at the DTC. That's all they would have. If you could just show people that you own 2 million at JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley, whatever it is, there's your discrepancy. There's your proof. So reverse it. Everyone here on this phone has a statement. Everyone's locked up. Show your statement. Do it one firm at a time. Send a statement, a photocopy of statement to some location, all right, where someone of importance can look at it. Add them up, and there's your proof. Just go down from TD Bank. TD Bank is notorious for lying and cheating. All right, I won't tell you the company, but we know that they had big discrepancies. And if you go look at a stock that I follow, a company said it had big discrepancies before. That's the one we're talking about. Big discrepancies. The company had the shareholders send the statements to the company. They added them up. That's how you get the discrepancies. we reversed the process. Right now, the process belongs to the brokerage firms and the DTC. Since everyone is locked in already, pick a company, pick one a day, one a week. Say, okay, everybody who has shares at Goldman Sachs, whoever they share, send your statements here. And you'll have the statements, the physical proof in your hand. If they have 18,000 shares and you have statements for 500,000 shares, you know that they're 420,000, 400, whatever over. You have too many shareholders right there.
Yeah, we did something similar to that, not in the detail that you're saying. When we put the form on the NextBridge website and invited everybody to basically put their name and email address and the house that they have their shares and how many shares they have, just so we can get it doesn't have to be an exact number. This needs to show a discrepancy, right? Because that's, once you show a discrepancy, now you've got probable cause that it's really worse than it is.
So now, John, the difference from before to right now is everyone is locked down and is losing money.
Yep.
So everyone on this call, you need to actually stand up and do your job and send it in. Okay? That's the most important thing. That's how the shorts and the street win. I've always said you have to fight like the Roman army. When you fight together, you will win. When you break apart, the barbarians will club us all. Okay? That's what they're trying to do. You have the opportunity. They're counting on you not working together and not showing your proof. If you can get everyone who owns their shares at Morgan Stanley to send their statements in, find the smallest ones first. Hey, this firm has 18,000 shares at the depository trust. Send us your statements. Once we get over it, and say, okay, we have 300,000 proof already, but 18,000 shares. Now you can start throwing them under the bus. You have the proof to show everybody. Then you go to West Christian and you get him to slam everybody. That's discovery. Wall Street will not give you discovery. You have the opportunity, and the opportunity is off the charts now because I'm going to use my French. Everybody's fucked. So you need to wake up, everyone, and do your part. That's all I can. That's how it works. All right. You have the opportunity to drag down the street and slaughter them right now. It's hard. I know everyone's lazy, or I got to take a photo of my statement. They don't like to do it. All right. That's what they count on. All you have to do is get a discrepancy. You can't have 18,000 shares and have proof on their statements that they own 500,000. That is considered wire fraud. Your brokerage firm is committing fraud, and you have the proof. They're sending you a statement that you own the shares, and the DTC is showing you don't own them. It's right there. It's very easy to do. But there's 1,000 people on this call that know 1,000 people. Send in your statements. It's easy, but you can't just send them all at one time. Don or whoever he's going to have doing this stuff will get overrun. It's one company. Pick the name and just bang the drum until you find every share. And once you go over, John, and someone who's compiling this for you, I'm sure someone on this phone will love to do that job. Compile it, send it out, and now you can sit there and say on Twitter, make a statement saying, hey, SEC, we have proof of 500,000 shares. The DTC only owns 18,000. How is that possible? Where are we selling these shares? Where are they coming from? That's it. One at a time, and then you move up to the bigger firms. TD Bank will probably have 10 million shares at the DTC. And if you could probably, once you get that number, and everyone sends a statement, you say, hey, all of a sudden we got, you'll probably have 30 million shares there. They'll be short 20 or 30 million shares.
No, TD Ameritrade is 53 million they're showing at DTC.
Yeah, it's going to be your biggest culprit. I've seen that before. So that's going to be your biggest. So instead of starting with the biggest, start with the smallest and work up to the biggest. Everyone will, as you start to move down the process and you start to expose the smaller ones, the discrepancies, no matter what they are, put the discrepancies up and move to the bigger ones, people will start fighting back. And you know what? Once you get the discrepancies, it's easy to work then.
If the smaller ones start finding they have a problem, will they break away from the bigger ones and request?
Yeah, no one wants to. So let me go back in time. just so you understand about stock loan in the back offices. There was a guy back maybe 30 years ago. His name was Palmieri, the last name. And he was at Smith Barney. He was arrested for a stock loan. They worked in the stock loan. He went to jail. And it turns out he was at Smith Barney, taking bribes, whatever they do, lending shares out to basically steal your money. But he went to jail. And it's a funny thing. He was at Smith Barney. His cousin was at Merrill. His brother was at Morgan. Do you get to see that there is some sort of organized crime at the stock loan level, the back office level? That has been proven already. This whole business is controlled by very few people. It's unregulated. So that's where this whole system is the breakdown. No one's regulating it, and that's how all this garbage gets into the system. Pat Byrne put up a long time ago, the Goldman easy to borrow list. That's how they get away from. That's how they get away from all called criminals, because they made it easy to borrow. Basically, if there's 100,000 Torchlight to be lent out, they say it's easy to borrow, and 12 people borrow it. So now you got 1.2 million they borrowed. Only there's 100,000 shares to be lent out. No one ever checked it. So that's how these guys get around and create the slop, as Pat Byrne used to say, because no one's regulating it, and it's controlled by a very small family of people. They all know each other. So if I'm at Merrill and John's at Goldman, and I'm short MMTLP, and I call John and say, John, you got to deliver me 20 million shares. John's my cousin. I'm going to say, hey, John, I'm going to buy you in on Apple. He goes, hey, give me my shares in this. No, they do each other favors and they look the other way. That's how it works. But think about it. Your cousin's at Goldman. I'm here. You got to deliver me shares. You say, hey, I don't have them. So if you call me in on these, I'm going to call you on that. And everybody just puts their tail between their legs and they do nothing. So what happened in your stock is that you have criminals playing. No one's watching them. They don't read all the nonsense about the last day of trading. They don't know. They just keep shorting it. It's just numbers. They never thought they would get trapped. My friend is a former SEC attorney, criminal attorney. The SEC has no choice but to investigate this. Zero. They have to go after them. The longs are trapped. You're not in trouble because you didn't do anything wrong. The shorts have the problem because it's going to lead right back to their prime brokers. He said that this is going to open up a big can of worms for the DOJ, because once they find that you sold all these counterfeit shares, they're going to look and see what else you're doing. So these guys made a big mistake by doing this, because now they're all trapped. So the problem is on their side. Now, I know everybody wants their money. I got it. So here's a little trick I would tell everybody to do. Whatever money you have locked up in the stock, on the day they shut it down, I think it was $3. Let's say $3. At that price, say you got 10,000 shares, you got $30,000. From that day on, make a little journal of every stock that you would have traded, okay? And make them more profitable. Make a few of them watch trades. Just go back and look at it. Pick any number you like. And that's your cost of what you lost with your money. All right? Create a pest. Okay? It's a free shot. When Wes comes around and you're down and your $30,000 is gone, say, hey, Wes, after 40 days, my money's been tied up. I could have made $280,000 trading. Where's your journal of your trade? Here it is. Thank you very much. While you're locked up and doing nothing, instead of just sitting there looking at the sky, all talking to each other, think about what I just told you. Create a journal. And when you know lawyers are going to come around this name sooner or later. I know no one wants to kick on the lawsuit, all right, but eventually you're in one right now, whether you like it or not. Okay, this is definitely going to go. There's going to be a big class action lawsuit, but each individual, I don't know how much money you have at stake. I don't care if it's $1. I could have bought this stock. I could have sold it there. And just put a journal and just show it to them down the road and say, hey, I could have made $300,000, $400,000. What do they know? Make the journal. It's important. How do I know that? Because I've seen this done before, and it was used in a court of law, and someone I know made a lot of money just by creating a journal of trades. Right? So It's a free shot. Pick one every day. I bought Tesla at 110 the other day. I could have sold it at 120. The court doesn't know. You're paper trading because you wanted to do it. They don't know. Screw them. Take advantage of what you're in right now. But you need to somehow formulate a plan. All this stuff has got me busy. That's why I agreed to come on the call. Every day I hear a different story, and that's what the brokerage firms do. They create a different story. They leave you on hold. You get tired. Most people work, have things to do in their life. You're not going to stay on the phone with Fidelity for 3 hours to get someone to give you the runaround. Right? I know. I've done this. I know all about it. And I've had good people like yourself make the calls and do the right thing. Right? So I'm trying to organize you guys as a mob. Every day at 12 o'clock, once you guys get your story straight, and everyone has the same story, call the SEC at 12 o'clock every day. It takes 2 minutes. Register a complaint on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tuesday and Thursday, call FINRA up. Register a complaint every day of the week. It takes 2 minutes of your life. Your money's at stake here. Fight back. I wish I can help you. Just do it yourself. I did that. I orchestrated it myself for 2 years in GTII. We called up every day at 12 o'clock. I put a truck in the lobby. I'm doing it for a reason. We're documenting the proof. I'm not doing it to just give them a headache. We're showing the SEC. We're showing the court system what we've done. Right? This is worth billions of dollars. This is not billions. This is billions. The system is completely broken. But John's gone through this already. Lord knows, I didn't think he'd be back in this thing. It's like the Godfather. Just when you thought you're out, they drag you back into it.
True.
You know, I thought John, when Torchlight went, I thought that was the end of John. Then he pops back into my life again. So, it's just amazing that this is still going on. And, again, but since it's wasting your life, John, do everything you can to the most for you, your family, and the people involved on this call, on every angle possible. Sue them. Make your journal entries. Make the calls. It takes 2 minutes. This is not 24 hours a day.
Right.
And people, get the information. Get the story. I hear John's voice every day, and he's explaining, like I do every day, about naked short selling. You got to get it in your head. It's one story. John's sticking to his guns. He may get a little tidbit or someone filing a lawsuit or something. When the person files a lawsuit, where was it, John? In Florida? I forgot.
Yeah, there's one in Florida. And I think one in Washington as well.
Right. So when John gets the information on those from the people doing it, he'll give it to somebody. You post it. Everybody understands it. And they give him 5 lines, John, of what it means in each state. And that's the end of the story. Here it is. They can look at it. Pat Byrne did it on Deep Capture. Start the MMTLP website. And it's the same stories. This is the story of it. Everyone gets it down. John's doing this every day. He has a family too. It's hard to do this every day. So, people have to do their part and understand it. I heard there's a guy on a boat somewhere in Asia. And there's people over the world that don't understand it. Get it centralized. Work together, and it's the same thing every day. Work as a team. It gets a lot easier. Yeah.
Ham, the thing I was trying to ask you, these brokerage firms seem to be all working in unison. Will they start going down?
No, they break apart. Listen, they're all going to break apart. Eventually, they break apart. They don't work together. They don't want their loss. They don't want the loss that Merrill Lynch or TD Bank is creating in the system. All right? They don't want anything to do with it. So as you keep moving down the road, and the story is formulated, right now the story is all over the place. All we know that they stopped trading for it, and everyone's trying to settle up, and no one knows what the next step is. We don't know if FINRA's involved or the SEC. Who's in control of this thing? No, I have no idea anymore. Until someone takes control and forces the issue, and that's why if you get it together and say, okay, the SEC is the one that's going to force the issue, okay, with a blue sheet investigation where they follow the sell tickets. If you look at it, everyone, they just grabbed a group of people for a pump and dump on a bunch of small cap names. Was it CEI? They made $50 million and all that nonsense. They followed the sell tickets, and that's how they grabbed all those people. How come they can't follow the sell tickets and MMTLP? Who sold all the shares? It's pretty easy. The sell tickets always lead to the money. So, again, all roads lead to the money. The SEC knows it. So, like I said, once you guys centralize everything and say, okay, we're just going to call and demand a blue sheet investigation. You can Google it. It's right there. What a blue sheet investigation by the SEC. And if once we start to, John gets some information where we start getting proof, then you can demand the blue sheet investigation. And this will lead to the money. And eventually everyone's going to get rewarded by hopefully selling your stock at whatever number you want to sell it at. John, I told you the other day, the most important person is the big holders. God forbid they ever try to negotiate in the gray market. For those who don't know the gray market, I was an expert in trading in the gray market. That's why I said it. I used to get preferred shares all the time, but and they just didn't have a CUSIP yet, and I used to get 100,000 to sell all the time. I would get 100,000 from a hedge fund. I called Goldman up, and it used to be priced at $25, and Goldman would on a preferred to call me up. I call them up, say I have 100 to sell. I says, make me a bid, and they go 27 bid. Boom, I sell it to them at 27. My client paid 25, and they would make $2 on it. Sometimes Goldman would bid me 24, and I would say, I'll sell it at 24.50, and then it would just, if they wanted it, they knew to call me back. That's what the gray market is. But if you do get a call, number one, I would tell everybody, tell every person on the call you like to record it, because you're not the final you're not the person that's going to make the final determination on if you're married. Say you want to make this joint call decision with your husband, or this way you can record it. You got to trick them and get that recording right, and you guys can report back to it. So the Twitter has allowed everyone to speak and get together. All right, before this was operated in the dark. So if they do start doing a gray market transaction, you can get to John and get to that big holder and see what he's been offered. If he's been offered it, they used to be offered it also. So if you guys work together, you won't get picked off by, I'm going to get 10,000 shares from this guy. He's in a panic, and they'll just keep trying to pick you off. I don't know what they're going to do, but that's what I would do if I was the short seller in trouble. I would go through the small firms and say, how many you got? Oh, we got 400,000. Call up all those people. They got small blocks and offer them $3 or $2. And you'll get some people that'll panic out. But since everyone is communicating, it's hard to do that anymore. So if you can sort of get them on a phone call, tape it. Okay? Tape it. Just blame somebody else that you have to play it for them. And get that recorded. Then report it back to everybody. And everybody works as a team. And that's where you're going to get the biggest numbers from. John, do you want to? I could talk forever, people. So
no, I'm 100% in favor of this. So I can actually create forms to be filled in by holders in Google Docs, and then put them on a web page where for example, if you have your shares at Merrill or if you have your shares at Schwab or TD Ameritrade or whatever, I can list 10, say for example, 10 different forms, and we'll put a web page out there and people can go fill in their information.
And just everybody do their part. That's the first step, because now you are doing you have discovery. We don't care what Merrill Lynch, because Merrill Lynch is never going to tell you what they own. Just look at the little schematic, the little drawing I put up on Twitter. It shows you the DTC has a certain number, 163, but we don't know what all the brokerage firms around it own. That's the discrepancies. They're the ones that are hiding it. It's broker-to-broker settlement that we don't see. We only see the middle. The DTC is going to put in. I attacked the DTC. I sued the DTC. I do every rock you can at the DTC. And it's basically, that's the mothership, and they're going to kick you back out to the brokers. That's how they protect the system. All right? So the problem lies with the brokers. The DTC is the wrong place to attack. All right? They're just saying, hey, we're keeping the system moving along. If a stock fails to settle, for example, let's say I own 1 million shares That's all sitting afloat at the DTC. John buys $1 million. They have a stock borrower program. They'll take my shares and lend it to John. And then they tell the world, hey, we settled the trade at the DTC. If John's wife buys $1 million shares, they'll take John's shares and lend it to her. So now my 1 million shares has been lent out twice, and the DTC does that because they want the system to keep moving along. Okay, now the brokerage firms on the outside are the ones that are letting these shares into the system. So there's two different things spinning around here. One's the DTC, who's just keeping the system going, and then you got the brokerage firms that are allowing this stuff into the system, and by never calling for delivery, they allow it to live. Why don't they call to call into to settle the trades? Obviously, they're all stealing money. Stock loan, I described that already to you. It's a sort of mafia and the stock loan business behind the scenes here. Remember that. I posted the other day and I attacked Elon Musk. I got the data on Elon Musk, and I hope everybody can hear it. But the number's enormous, and I try to drag him into the battle for all of us. He can end this in 1 second. I have a friend that knows Kathy Woods. We reached out to her. I'm doing everything I can to drag that idiot into the fight. Right? I'm not in the business of helping billionaires, by the way. So I want him to step up and help everybody here. But the numbers are enormous, and think how much money they make lending Tesla shares out all day, trying to cover all the fails in that stock. They're probably making $100 million a month, all the street on those shares that have been lent out. And if you go back and look, Pat Byrne said Goldman Sachs, 75% of their income comes from stock loan. So again, it's a monster business behind the scenes, but you have them trapped. The longs are trapped. The shorts are in trouble because they're really in a trap. You guys have a chance for discovery. Everyone on the call, get every share you can. When John puts up the firm, send in that information. Help yourself. Anything else, guys?
Hey, that's Ham talking through Andrew, right?
That is correct.
William. Hey, so
yeah, I'm here.
This is Huckleberry. I have Dr. Robert Shapiro. He was the economic advisor for Clinton and on the audit board for Overstock. I have a Zoom meeting scheduled with him for Monday, and I wanted to get John Berta and I've been talking to Uncle Smokey a little bit about it. It sounds like he's got to work, unfortunately. But from what my conversation with Shapiro has gotten to is I can get 2 to 3 people in that call with me. If you guys know who Dr. Shapiro is or have heard of him.
Well, I can tell you this. I will join the call, okay? The last time I was with Mr. Shapiro, I was driving. He jumped out of my car while I was doing 40 because he couldn't believe how bad it was when I told him what was going on. So he knows me. I know him very well.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I would say that Wes knows him very well as well.
Okay, and they both went to Georgetown together, didn't they?
No, Wes went to school in Texas.
Right.
Wes went to school in Texas.
Yep.
There was, I think there's someone on the NEXTBRIDGE board that went to Georgetown with Dr. Shapiro, but
that's actually Clifton DeBose went to Georgetown Law School.
Okay. So that's where that connection is. So John, I have no way of DMing you, but if that's something that you would be willing to do, it's 11 a.m. Eastern on Monday.
Sure, absolutely.
I'll have Uncle Smokey or Syntax get you my personal email.
Great.
And then I've been in contact with his executive assistant. She's getting me the Zoom link, and if we can come together with 2 to 3 people that are knowledgeable and prepared to speak, I think that he could be a great voice that can get us in front of some of the right people, hopefully.
So let me just tell you about Mr. Shapiro. Brilliant mind, but this is a street fight, okay? John Berta understands more about it than Robert Shapiro, okay? Everyone on this call understands it. He's brilliant, don't get me wrong. He understands at the highest level. He understands the economic destruction. He understands all that. But this is like the gangs of New York. We're out there fighting in the streets. This is at the level we're fighting at. We need to drag people like him and get some politicians in here. I agree. But this is like a street fight. We're fighting for your money. This is a different game.
Guerrilla warfare for sure.
I told him that I was threatened by the Russian mafia. I had surveillance cameras around my home. I had armed security. I always tell stories. I had a surveillance system in my house going way back, and I was being threatened by everybody. And I had a big screen. Everyone will get a kick out of this one. I had a big screen, and I'm looking at the screen, and there's a man walking towards my house, and I have 2 DEA agents chasing him around, tackle him, and put a gun to his back of his head. And I'm watching it on the screen as though it's a TV show. Meanwhile, it was going on right over my left shoulder in front of my home. I go outside, and they don't know who the guy is. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The guy's coming up to my door. They don't know who he is. He's just the gas man trying to read the meter around the house. So my family said, enough, this is getting too crazy. And I told Shapiro about all these crazy things, and he couldn't believe that there's Russian mafia in here. Listen, I'm Italian. This is not the Italian mafia. This is Russian mafia, Jewish mafia. This is very international. This is not regular people. You have to be able to navigate offshore banking. Most people don't have access to that. I don't have accounts in Switzerland or do this. I don't know how to move things around. That's not my background. But the people doing this thing are doing this stuff all over the place. They're moving stuff offshore, onshore. They're very bad people. It's very dangerous. And that's why I use the name Ham, because I don't want to get a bullet in my head. So for those who wonder why, that's why.
Hey, Ham, this is Busy Brands. Thank you, Ham, for taking my call. Actually taking my question. So in regards to the documentation that you're asking us to submit to Mr. Berta, there's 2 community members that are actually creating a website. And we were brainstorming yesterday. Well, I was brainstorming with one of the community members on the phone. And one of the ideas that came up is something like NEXTBRIDGE website has, that you could submit your name, the amount of shares that you hold, the brokerage. But I even went even further, suggesting that they upload a screenshot. Now, is that what you're talking about? I mean, because if so,
well,
go ahead.
Piece of paper that you sign, and this is basically you're signing an affidavit saying you don't have to send your statement. You could say, Joe Blow, I got 50,000 shares of MMTLP, and I own it at Merrill Lynch. That's all you have to say. So if they add it up, and let's say you have 500,000 shares and there's only 100 to DTC, the company can contact you later on for validation because they would need your statement later on.
Okay. So,
if you just want to send a copy of statement, just white out any information you don't other stocks you own. But most people get nervous about doing that stuff. So if you just filled out a piece of paper saying this, and you're willing to, on a stack of Bibles say this is your statement. If it has to go that far, you would have to stand behind whatever you're submitting in. Now the short sellers are not going to send in anything because they don't want they want the number to be less, not more. So there's no one's going to send in fake numbers.
Thank you, sir.
If you have 50,000 shares, we don't want you to say you have 100,000. Is what we're trying to say. You're basically signing a piece of paper that goes to a court of law stating that what you own. Don't fabricate it.
Thank you. Marduk, you want to take over? Anybody else has questions? Sir, do you have questions?
Can I just jump in real fast?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Ham, how long do you have?
I have till tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. Go ahead.
Okay. And John, how about you?
I've got about 5 minutes. Then I got to jump.
Let's have Marduk ask the questions.
I'm gonna try to keep this going, but you guys got to understand, I'm trying to take a 4-hour drive, so I don't know how conducive this is going to be to a car ride. So you guys might lose each other.
Okay.
Go ahead, Marduk.
All right. Sorry, 1 sec. Ham and William. Guys, can you hear me?
We lost everybody.
No.
Yeah, we're here.
Okay.
Okay, John, if you want to cut out, I'll handle it for you. Go take care of your stuff. I'm just
All
going
right.
to watch the football game, so go ahead.
No worries. I just wanted to say, everybody, you know, this is, I think your idea is fantastic. You know, this is ideas we're talking about outside of NextBridge and MetaMaterials. And, you know, as you all know, I'm not an officer or director. I don't speak for them. So when I said earlier that I don't want to get in front of anything that NextBridge has to say, I meant it. So they'll talk when they want to talk, and they'll put out the information that they want to put out. So just wanted to make that clear.
Thank you, John.
All right. Have a great New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year's, John. Wishing you all the best here and your family.
All right. Take care.
John, for giving us the time. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very
Take
much,
care.
John. Sorry about the fucking wonkiness of this whole mess.
No worries. Thank you.
I'm doing my best here. I hope you guys were able to hear each other clear and exchange some good ideas.
Beautiful, dude. You're a lifesaver. I cannot express our thanks to you doing that for us.
All right, guys.
It
If you
is
guys have any
chopping out a little
questions, now's
bit.
the time.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Medusa.
fire away.
I was wanting to quickly speak before John left. This is that girlfriend. Yesterday I watched V for Vendetta. I don't know if anyone's seen it before. I've seen it a few times and I watch it regularly, but I would recommend everyone watch. I see some hearts. Everyone watch V for Vendetta. It's all about a group of people coming.
All right, guys. Can you all hear me? I ended the space there since John hopped out. Figured we cut it to end there. I wanted to get mainly John Berta. Unfortunately, we didn't get our question answered. Like I said, my questions are pretty straightforward, so I don't know if John would even be able to answer those questions. It'd probably have to be ignored. But hell, why not ask them, right? That's what we're going to do. These are the questions that people want to know. Where was my thing at down here? Oh, it was under tweets and replies, yeah. There it was, yeah. So as you saw, I had this up most of the stream. As we want to know, John Berta has mentioned twice, that the speculation out there he has seen on Twitter was 95% correct. So I'm just curious, are we still correct on our 95% of NextBridge speculation? And I want to know, does John Berta still hold his shares? Do you still hold your shares? If you didn't sell at 12, what price would you sell at? Because we got to face it, John Berta has to know a rough estimate of what he believes that the value of NextBridge is worth. If he didn't sell at 12, what price would he be willing to sell at? So, like I said, those are pretty tough questions that maybe legally he can't speak about. So, I don't know. I wish he would have got asked those questions. Yeah, like I said, my questions are pretty much straightforward. I know what the people want to know, and that's the value. We don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully, he did mention, though, that NextBridge is going to have some stuff coming out here in the next week or two. So I'll be looking forward to that, seeing what NextBridge is going to have coming out. So we'll just have to keep holding on waiting and go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream since Berta's done. Hope you have a great New Year. I might be back later on. I'm not sure. If not, I'll be back tomorrow. And if there's any other breaking news on space chats or anything like that, then I'll hop back on and see if I can get anything. But all right, guys. Thank you all for your support. And I will catch you on the next one, guys. Peace.